The Big E Sports Show.
Yeah, we got it going on,
The fastest hour in sports entertainment. We don't just talk about the headlines. We bring you some of the most engaging and colorful guests each and every episode for your listening pleasure. Now, without further ado, here's your host, Elissa Walker-Campbell.
Elissa Walker-Campbell, welcome back to the Big E Sports Show. Now that the 2024 NFL regular season has ended, the coaching carousel is in full spin, and we're going to discuss which coaching jobs that stands out. And we're thrilled to have back with us for our first program of 2025, and that is Pro Football Hall of Famer, Super Bowl winning coach, the great Dick Vermeil. Happy New Year, Coach.
Hey, same to you.
Well, the 2024 NFL regular season has come to a close, and now the attention shifts to the upcoming playoffs. 12 teams gearing up for the wild card round this weekend. But I want to lead off and get your thoughts on Bill Belichick and his decision to be the head coach at North Carolina. What was your reaction when you heard the news, and why do you think that this move makes sense for him?
Well, first off, it startled me, and I was disappointed. It startled me, and I was disappointed. I'd like to see him back in the NFL to once again be given the opportunity to prove what he's all about, and no one's done it better. And I would be shocked if he couldn't do it just as good as they used to do it if he was back in the NFL. I think the college experience will be totally different for him. I think it'll take him time to adjust. But if anyone can adjust quickly, it'll be Bill Belichick.
Dick, what do you think prevented Bill Belichick from returning to the NFL? Just does it come down to a power struggle and not having complete control over a team?
Well, I think there's some owners that just see the game totally different than I do, okay? And, it's not about a power struggle. It's about who can win for you. That solves all power struggles. But I was very disappointed he didn't get a great opportunity and was encouraged to go back because I just was very confident he would be able to do it all over again.
Coach, and here we are, we're coming off NFL Black Monday, and multiple NFL teams inquired about, whether legendary Bill Belichick, if he would reconsider his move to college and consider going back to the NFL. So we're just going to have to wait and see. And of course, just wait and see if his success from the NFL, if that'll translate to the college game, because it certainly has changed even from your days of being the head coach at UCLA.
Oh, no question. Just the whole process now with NIL and transfer portals and all that. You continually recruit your own team to keep them there to play the next year. And you never know who you're going to lose until the end of the season. And then you have to go out and not only recruit freshmen, you got to go out and recruit transfer portal players to fill your holes. It's just a whole new scheme. Plus, you better have a pretty good bankroll if you want to get somebody that's really a difference maker. So it's disillusioning for me, believe me. Yeah.
Well, and I have to say, I enjoyed watching Bill Belichick on Monday Night Football with Peyton and Eli and being in the broadcasting booth. And I just wonder, how were you able to hopscotch from the sidelines to TV and then back to coaching again? Because as I understand, you were like 60 years old when you became the Rams head coach. And then just a few years later, you guys were hoisting the Lombardi Trophy and won it all.
Well, leaving coaching in 82 and going into broadcasting, I went right to work for CBS. Okay, and John Madden was assigned to break me in. I did a couple preseason games working in a booth silently next to him and then went on with Frank Gleber. So I learned from the best. And broadcasting is just like football coaching. You got to be prepared. You got to invest a lot of time. And when you're a rookie, you really have to invest a lot of time. And I gradually learned how to be efficient in my preparation, first from Madden and then the other people I met. And plus, it gave me opportunities to watch a lot of great NFL coaches coach for the first 5 years of broadcasting. The next 9 years, I was at ABC with Brett Musburger and these kind of guys and doing college games. It was still fun because I got to watch coaches coach, and it kept me stimulated football-wise. And it actually stimulated me a lot because you could watch great coaches coach, and you could also steal good ideas, and refresh your mind a little bit and recognize what you did wrong when you were doing it, So I was very fortunate. With Bill, wasn't broadcasting games. He was in the studio with, like you said, the Mannings. And that's a totally different environment. It doesn't take the same kind of preparation. You don't have to remember the names of the coaching staff. You don't have to remember the names of 60 different jersey numbers and all these kind of things. It's different. But, whatever Bill would have decided to do, he would have done it well anyway. And I'm sure he did a great job with the studio work. But he belongs on the field where he can positively influence people.
Dick, you were hired by the Rams in 97 as you were just talking about, you were out of coaching for 15 years. Why did you finally decide, you know what, I want to get back inside the huddle. I want to be back on the field?
Well, Elissa, I had been offered opportunities to be evaluated for a coaching position a number of times when I was out. And each time the Ram job was open, they asked me if I'd be interested. And I said no. I said no. I think 3 different times. The 4th time they asked me, I said, if I don't go back now, I will never get the opportunity because there isn't going to be anybody else asking me. Yeah. So I considered that, and I went and met with John Shaw, and I liked him. I knew him from the past. I knew Carol Rosenblum. I worked for him early in my career at the Rams, and I knew Georgia, who now run the team, and it was all positive. And like I said, I'm repeating myself. If I don't do it now, it'll be too late. I better go try it again. The big thing I did right was surround myself with experienced people. We were the oldest coaching staff in football. But the other thing we did is we went back to the old-fashioned way to teach people how to play the game. Hard work.
Yeah.
Hard work.
Uh-huh.
And they fought it at first, but unlike the Eagles situation, I had draft choices and free agency. Okay. I had no draft choices in Philadelphia for my first 3 years, and there wasn't free agency. So when you combine a work ethic with the ability to also now draft and also sign free agent, it enabled us with my good coaching staff to be successful quicker.
Dick, we're talking some more about Bill Belichick. He's 72 years old. I mean, do you think he can bring that energy, that connectivity to 18 and 19-year-olds? Because it really seems like this shift that's taking place in college football, it literally has become now more like a professional sport. I mean, you were talking about NIL, and you got to have deep pockets.
Yeah, well, I think he will go in his position in North Carolina held in higher esteem than any coach hired anywhere in the country. Okay. All of a sudden, you got 18-year-old kids that have heard Belichick's name for a long time. Okay. And all of a sudden, they're sitting in the same meeting room. First, they'll be nervous. Second, they'll be scared to make a mistake. They'll want to do everything they can to impress this very, very successful leader and football coach. So I think he has a big advantage over just another head coach taking a college job because he has such credibility. And that credibility helps you sell everything you're talking about. And, he'll be believable and trusted automatically. That makes a big difference.
It's going to be fascinating to watch. Well, let's shift gears. The NFL playoffs are here. Wild card round. Things get started this weekend right here in Houston. And all 3 of the teams that you coached in the NFL are in the playoffs. Dick, is there one team that you're pulling for more than others? What say you?
Well, I pull for all 3 of my teams. They're not playing each other, okay?
Yeah.
And Philadelphia is playing Green Bay, and it's going to be a good football game. It's going to be a good game. But I think Philadelphia is physically the most talented team in the NFL. I don't think anybody, 22 starters against 22 starters, has better personnel through the roster. And all the teams that are here are well coached. So it'll be some individual players that'll make some plays beyond the coaching that'll decide who wins these games. But, you got Baltimore favored over Pitt. You got Buffalo favored over Denver. You got Tampa Bay favored over Washington. Minnesota favored over Rams. I think the Chargers and even maybe Denver. Okay, I like their defense, and I like the growth of the young offensive quarterback there. He's really coming on next. And, and I really respect the coaching of Sean. So I think they could be a surprise team in these playoffs. Now, it's a tough place to go. A tough place to go in Buffalo. But I believe it'll be a lot better game than most people feel right now.
Well, Dick, did you see Denver as a playoff team? You just mentioned that, the Broncos, they have really been one of the biggest surprise stories of the season.
Yeah, well, it's never a surprise when a coach like Sean is successful to me. Okay, he's a fine football coach and has been for a long time.
Yeah.
And he took over a team that had a good defense. And there's nobody who's going to coach offense any better. There's nobody that's going to get a young quarterback ready to play better than he has and will. And so I just think it'll be a good football game. It might be a surprising kind of game. I think Buffalo will beat him. But I think it'll be a very entertaining game.
That's right. The Broncos on the road to face the Bills. My final question for you is, let's talk about the Chiefs. Can they win 3 in a row and become the first team to three-peat? What say you?
Well, I wouldn't bet against them. Hopefully they'll be a little healthier. They've had some offensive line problems, especially at left tackle. Hopefully they'll be resolved now as one guy comes back off injury and that kind of stuff. But, Andy Reid has been in there and done it so many times. And yes, all the games they won this year were close contests. But that's even a more defined reason to think Kansas City can keep doing it, because it's the same coach running the team, the same quarterback coaching the team, the same defense playing defense. And it's going to take an outstanding, lucky football team to beat the Chiefs.
Hey, we've been going one-on-one with legendary NFL Super Bowl winning head coach for the Eagles, the St. Louis Rams, and the Kansas City Chiefs. He is simply the best. Always a true pleasure when we have the opportunity to catch up with you. Dick, enjoy all the action this weekend, and we look forward to connecting right before the Super Bowl. You take care.
Thank you. Good luck to you.
You bet.